So this is a Inku Egi Rod, so designed here locally in Melbourne, really for our local squid fishing. So if you've been watching FishingMad on TV or YouTube, you know one thing I've been banging on for quite some time is that the majority of squid rods that we have in our market are really designed overseas, where land-based fishing is predominantly done for squid, and that extra long rods are really necessary because casting distance is an absolute premium. And because of that, you find that a lot of the rods on the market here locally are 8'3", 9 foot in length, and even longer. Now, the only problem is when you're fishing off a boat or even off a kayak, those lengths can become really impractical. And that's why I really like this. It's 7'2" in length. It just makes things so much easier when you're fishing, as I said, predominantly locally from a boat or a kayak.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's good. And I reckon we've caught 6, maybe 7 squid in probably about 3 or 4 minutes. So just testing out some new gear today. So that's just some of the Inku squid jigs and the squid rods as well. But there you go there. If you can walk away with hopefully a double or triple bag of squid.
Now, it's a true two-piece, which is really nice because we're seeing a lot of rods on the market that are either split at the butt section or they're split in 1/4 and 3/4. Again, from a traveling point of view, that's really, really awkward. So it's great to see just some basic common sense approach on things like that. But there's some also really nice features in this rod that makes it a really nice dedicated Egi outfit. First of all, it's just the action on these rods. So they've got a really nice flexy, whippy rod tip, and that's perfect when you're squid fishing because obviously you want to get that optimal casting distance when you're casting out squid jigs. But most importantly is when a squid grabs onto your squid jig, you're naturally going to lift to kind of strike. By having a nice, really soft action flexi rod, what happens is you don't pull the squid jigs, which is absolutely perfect.
There we go, there's one, that's a good one. Look at that. Oh yeah. All right, they're back. Ooh, he hit that hard, didn't he?
These really nice soft tip whippy action rods are also really great if you're going to do whiting fishing, and you know, locally you could do flathead, pinkies and a whole range of stuff. There's a lot of nice features in the rod as well. You've got a really nice extended keeper here, which is great for holding your squid jigs whilst you're not fishing. That might be whilst you're transporting on your boat or your kayak, and maybe when you're not using it and you've got it sitting in your rod rack, but you can easily put a squid jig in there. Little basic things that so many of the rod manufacturers just get wrong over and over again. It's really nice and lightweight. It's got shaped EVA at the butt section, and it's also got a really nice Fuji EVA reel seat. Very, very comfortable in the hand. This is going to pair with a 2000, 2500 or even a 3000 size reel absolutely perfectly. And that's going to be absolutely perfect for this form of fishing.
And very nice whippy tip rod action. So hopefully we can get a few more squid to catch on that, and hopefully take a good feed home.
And then as you make your way up the rod, you've got really nice wrapping all the way through, and that just really helps with the rigidity of the rod. Just prevents, like when you do get a hook up and a fish or a squid in this case sort of moves or darts from side to side, it really just helps you to keep control. And one thing I actually like, and this might be debatable with some people, it's got some nice big guides. Now, I think when you're doing a lot of that really ultra finesse style fishing, and you'll see some of the rods I've got behind me there are really tuned for that, where you're using micro guides and you're targeting brim and a lot more of your finesse species, that's really awesome. But when you're out targeting squid, I don't really think that's necessary. And I find a lot of times we're seeing a lot of the micro guides on all the rods. It really forces your hand on the type of knots that you use, the type of line that you use, where really sometimes you just want a nice, simple, easy approach. And these tangle-free Fuji guides on the little bit bigger size, but I find that's just really practical for this form of fishing. And when you put all of those things together, nice and lightweight, nice whippy action, it's comfy in the hand, some really practical designs in terms of a nice large rod keeper, guides that make sense, a true two-piece that you can travel around with easily, and a length that's just so much easier to work with when you're on a boat or when you're fishing on a kayak. And I think this is a really, really nice option. But I think this is something that's really tuned to our local fishing conditions, really nice and refined, and probably pairs really well with some of the new squid jigs that these guys are doing as well. So this is what I'm going to be running with for a little while now, and hopefully over the short term we're going to get some great footage to share with you. And I definitely recommend that you have a look at the Inku Egi Rod, designed locally here in Melbourne.